If you're going my way, well, I wanna drive it all night long.
1, 2, 3.
Road trip.
I know you're going to love it.
Life is a highway, well, I wanna ride it all night long. Woo! If you're going my way, well, I wanna drive it all night long. Gimme, 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 yeah. Life is a highway, well, I wanna ride it all night long. Yeah. If you're going my way, well, I wanna drive it all night long.
All right, here's the place we're at. It used to be a train station, and now it's an historical society.
You can sign in for me there, please. I'd appreciate it. Okay. That's how I'll get my grants, to X amount of people.
Oh, okay.
Are you all local, out of town, out of state?
Fairmont. Yeah.
I grew up in Fairmont.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing.
10 years ago. That's about 76 of them. Well, welcome to Philippi and the museum. Let me give you a quick 2-minute tour, then you can go ahead. Museum Street. We do charge $1 to see the mummies.
Okay.
Because that money goes to the high school for a scholarship in the library.
Okay.
3 things to remember as you're going around. Of course, 1, we weren't West Virginia. We were still Virginia at the time. First land battle of the Civil War. First amputee of the Civil War. Right up here at the Baptist Church, it was a farmer across from the courthouse, a Southerner. A Northern doctor operated on him, the cannonball hit him. He went back to Stanton, Virginia, stayed here for several months to heal. It's the largest corporation in the world today. It's called the Hanger Corporation for prosthetics, not only for us, but also for animals and everything else. They're stationed in California.
Would you mind if I filmed you? Would it be okay if I filmed you?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I'm filming it.
You are?
Yeah.
And also, if you haven't yet, please take a picture of the bridge. It's the only dual-barrel covered bridge in the whole United States in use on a federal highway. There are no others. That is owned by the federal government. It is on the register and everything. That is to remember as you're going around. To your left, you're going to see World War I and II and the Korean crisis. The reason we have that set up there, a lot of old pictures from the high school and college. A lot of men from Barber County went to war. In the back, and please watch your step when you go back through there. That is all mining and farming. The town became very rich after the Civil War with mining and farming. On the wall, you will see the flood of '85 in the state of West Virginia, which not only devastated Philippi, but all of West Virginia. And you'll see the fire of 1989 on the covered bridge. It has since been restored. 2 historians from WVU. The structure inside that bridge is original from 1852. It has not been touched.
Wow.
It's been charred and a few bolts and supports are there. To your right, you will see we honor a citizen of ours by the name of Myers, and it was the Myers family. Most of them ended up as MDs. They, in turn, had a pill factory across the street, sold it, got the money, built Broadus Hospital and Myers Clinic in this town. So we honor them with that is their equipment, their pills, that is their phone system and everything. And out of place, you'll see way up high, and we had to put it, is a drum. That bass drum was played at Appomattox at the surrender of Grant and Lee by this soldier you'll see in this oval picture right here. And in the back, but let me introduce you to Ted Cassidy first. Ted is a graduate of Philippi High School. We just had an unveiling of Ted Cassidy last Saturday. He lived across the street on Main Street from Subway. His mother stayed here and ended up being the door mother up at A&B. So He went on to college at Wesleyan and then on to Stetson from there, and then, of course, got into the movies and music and everything else. And also in the back, we have the infamous numbers. 2 women from the insane asylum at Weston. The one on the left when you go in was 21 years of age when she died giving birth. The one straight ahead was 40. She died of natural causes. We do not have the formula. Egyptian mummies take a hook, go up in your nose, pull all your integrals out. He didn't do that. He left everything intact, drilled a hole in their stomach, pumped them full of fluid, turned them upside down in an airtight box. Did that 3 times, 6 months, came out as hard as this floor you're standing on. Been exposed to air since 1890. At the flood of 85, by the time we got to them, they were 4 feet underwater. They lost their hair. Now they are ugly as can be. But we still own them. We still have them. We do, like I say, we do not have the formula. Smithsonian Institute for years has wanted it and everything. We have some ingredients that he used and what he did, and you can read all the interior and everything of where the federal government gave him permission, what he did and everything else. And as you're going around, if you have any questions at all, just call. We'll see what we can do to answer them. And you are allowed to film and you are allowed to take pictures.
Okay.
So
We thank you,
enjoy
bud.
yourself. Any questions you have?
Okay, well, read what he did. He talked to Ed Larry about, oh, that's you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, well, you can, he's the one that called you about doing the thing with the mummies,
We're looking at them, or
the spirit detection.
Oh, yeah, you can, just as long as you don't touch them, you're fine.
I wouldn't want to
I have
touch
no
them.
desire to touch
I
it.
heard it might be good luck, but I don't want
Oh,
to.
we don't need that, bud.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
It's worth that to us.
Yeah, you can film, we have a couple doctors from out of Virginia that want to do DNA. The lady that owns these mummies is 90-some years old and lives in Charleston. Now, how she and her family got ownership of them, we do not know. We just know that Hamrick was the one that did know the mummification, and he's well known with stuff in there. And before you leave, take a copy of this, because a lot of people won't believe you, but this will give you the history, the mummies, and the mummification.
okay, great.
Everything that we have on that. So,
Cool.
yeah, enjoy yourself.
Well, thank you bunch.
Okay, I do have some questions, but I'll get to them in a little bit.
No problem. When you're ready, just let me know.
All right, thank you.
Picture of the birds.
Hello?
This is an old phone operator system. And that's something. Wow. A big old drum. Drum played at the surrender of General Robert E. Lee to General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. No cure-alls to be found in this case. Each remedy herein is designed to meet special disease conditions and are compounded after formulas which have been thoroughly tested by leading physicians. Are you sick? This case contains a remedy adapted to the special disease condition and will give you relief or accomplish a cure in the shortest possible time. Huh.
That's some of Dr. Myers' medicine when he had his shop. You can still go online, Dr. Myers, and he'll sell you one of those cases. Won't be anything in it.
Wow. Some of this stuff is really cool. Huh. Old Victrola. Yeah. Record player. graduating class of 1935. 1929. Pictures of Philippi. That one's 1897. Wow, look at that piano. That's cool. Thing. It was thing. It was thing. I still like to watch them to this day.
That's old Ted sitting on the end of the bench right there, number 48. He graduated in 1948 too, from the high school.
Wow.
His mother stayed here. She became a dorm mother. She was here for years. So we thought it'd be nice to honor her.
Yeah, there's a lot of history in West Virginia. A lot of it I didn't even know about.
A small town, and really quite a bit. Some of the stuff is very neat. Everything in this cabinet is original from the Civil War, the first land battle. The sword was donated, by the Kelly family out of Wheeling. That was his sword. He led one of the charges. These are the two original rifles. One was the Enfield Zachary at 1,000 yards. This was the original soldier, and the bayonet that attached to this was down there. And the different size cannonballs that were used. And the town was very rich, and you can see here the money. The Bank of Philippi. They were allowed to produce their own money.
Oh, wow.
At that time. Now this over here is not original, but this right here is original certificates, Confederate money, and down below they're original too. was up above the window blinds in here.
Wow.
You can go on the outside of the building on the corner and you'll see the big flood level. You'll look and you'll see the first one, and that's not it. You gotta go like this. It's clear up here on that corner building.
Wow.
That was the later one, 96, I think.
Well, we had one then, we had one in 82. I lived in North Philippi. Then originally from Fairmont, I came up here and started teaching school. And after the second flood, they came after me in the boat. I said, that's it. Nice place I can
I
find.
don't blame you.
And then when you guys call me, I'll say, come on up. You can sit here on this hill and watch everything down there. It only took me twice for them to come after me in a boat.
Oh, I don't blame you.
And we've got two flags, if you'll notice. We've got one here and one there. They're 48 stars. Now, we don't know where they came from, who donated or what. But those are 48 star rods.
Wow. And back here are the mummies. Wow. Would you like to talk to us? I'm so sorry. I hope you're not offended by us being here. Wow. Wednesday's doll. That's funny. Sure is. Bradford. Wonder if he was in it when he did it. This sword was hurled onto the roof of an outbuilding belonging to Captain Bradford during the Battle for Philippi. It was donated to Barnaby County Historical Museum. Wow. Step down, please watch your step. The floor is wooden block. Telegraph key. Handmade knife. Apple rings used to size apples. Lock and key from the old jailhouse. Flat irons. Leg guards. Protect legs when riding a horse. Branding warmer. Used to bring cattle, livestock on the farm. A on one side and S on the other. It's a corn planter. I guess you put your corn in up there and somehow wow, an old prosthetic leg. Wow. Civil War cannonballs. Wow. Chimney flue. During the Civil War. Wow. This wagon, kind of neat. spinning wheel, the great spinning wheel. Old saddle. That's how the covered bridge was designed. This is an engineer's model of the Philippi covered bridge. Wow. 3/4 scale. Geodes. Geode began as bubbles in volcanic rock or as an animal burrows, tree roots, or mud balls in sedimentary rock. Over time, the outer shell of the spherical shape hardens and water-containing silica precipitation forms on the inside walls of the hollow cavity within the geode. These have layers of iron. And then grinding stone. Corn grinder. To 900 and 1400 AD. Huh. Sorry. So, I remember my mom used to have one of these. Remember my grandfather had one of them in his living room. He fell on it and burned himself. Wow. It's a broom machine. Guess used to make brooms. Some mining gear. There's an old railroad lamp. It's so dark in there you can't see much. Wow. Barbed wire. Different types. Ooh, that one looks like it could do some damage. Model car tools, horseshoe nail, nailer, hide fleshers used for skinning and cleaning hides. And my mom used to have one of these too. I can remember we had it. Wow. She filled it up at the sink, but we had to wheel it to the porch to get it, to drain it. The hose would drop down. This floor's cool. It's all wood. Yeah, it is. Looks like brick, but it's wood. Huh. 1924 Underwood typewriter.
I know. I forgot to give you guys this, I'm sorry.
Type for a printing press.
Not
That's
totally
cool.
complete,
Oh, cool.
but we give those, that's to the covered bridge.
Okay.
And down at the bottom in 1890, or 1991, we reopened the bridge again after the fire down there.
Okay.
That gives you the history of the covered bridge.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much. This is a printing press. Isn't that crazy?
Huh.
And these are the things they put the letters on, and then they laid it on that, and then turned it. Huh? Yeah, down there. It says it's GS Bell. Just dinner bell. Fur coat, black bear. It says black bear fur coat, gloves, seal hat, worn by G.C. Hallsbury Meadow, 1900. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Prints, matted prints, frame prints. The image are available.
Yes.
East side, west side, or?
West side. Well, he lives on east side. But,
We have a lot of our old stuff. I don't know if you've been down to the old Harvey's building.
yeah.
They have that coal museum.
Has anyone ever tried to research the genealogy of the brother that was in the letter, Sal, or so, or, I'm not sure how the name's pronounced.
No, we have not done that. And the Historical Society has not done that. And a matter of fact, on the other end of it with the mummies, the same way. We did have some nurses come down up at West Sharp Hospital and look around everything and try to analyze. So when did they die? Okay, we haven't done. Let's go look at the records to see who they are. And the lady that owns these mummies, okay, she doesn't want to go through any of that genealogy. She wants to keep them to the point where there's a mystery about them
Yeah.
and people come and see them.
I understand.
No research at all.
Okay, there was an infant that was buried originally in the coffin with the youngest woman.
Yes, there was an infant and there was a severed arm. Okay.
Whoa.
We lost both of them in the flood of 1985. So they're down at Grafton someplace. I'm afraid somebody's gonna be digging one day and dig one of them up and say, oh my God, what happened, you know?
Oh
We
man.
lost those in the flood of 85.
I found online, up at WVU, they have some papers of, Hemorrhage, I'm sorry. Talking about also a formula involving food, preservation.
Yes, now we can't verify it, okay? So, we also, the story is out there, he started with food. Okay, and some of the stuff in vegetables, especially peppers. He started with that. He started small with the vegetables and mummified those. The story has it out there, and I don't know if it's down there with WVU or not, that he had the formula to the point where he could preserve milk for 5 years.
Ooh. Wow.
So what happens is, we deal a lot with the archives in Charleston. We make sure this stuff was authentic Civil War. And what they tell us, and we use it for this, if you can't verify it, don't put it out there because it's not real. You know, we can't verify, and a lot of stories have it, and this is one from an author in Clarksburg, that in that covered bridge, Jefferson Davis and Lincoln met to settle the Civil War. And story has it, there was a kid in the rafters, and he heard it. We can't verify it. We don't have it. We don't have pictures. We don't have people way back when that wrote stories about it or anything. So this gentleman writes a poem about it, about the kid and the saying that what he saw and what we don't know.
Wow.
Too. So it's the same way we don't know, because we don't have the formula. And we do not have anything written from his family. We have several gentlemen here that live next door to the Hambricks. We also have one gentleman that ran around with Hamrick's son, that the mummies used to be down here in the barn. Now, I remember that in 1970 when I first came here to teach school, and the son would go underneath the barn the opening. And if you came through and he charged $1 to see the mummies, the son would get a stick and poke those mummies and push them up. We can verify that because the next door neighbor, told he verified it with hundreds.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. That would scare some people.
I've read two conflicting stories. It's just minor details, but it said the mummies were worked on at the hospital or in the barn. Do you know which place?
We tend to say the barn.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we lean to because that's where he had it.
Okay.
That's where he had.
That makes sense.
We also had people that were there that said they remember tearing everything up or emptying the jars where he had the chemicals down at the barn. And we were hoping, why didn't you say one of them? Because the Smithsonian Institute and other people come in and want to form it. We don't have it. And
Wow.
we don't know what to tell them, so we tend to go to the barn. Now, he did perform for doctors, and you can read, see in one that he did perform for doctors at the Smithsonian Institute and performed for doctors at another hospital. If you read in there that that's what he did. I don't have my other sheet. I wish I did. I just gave that to the library at Princeton. They just take this off. But yeah, he performed several places to show that it was real, that it wasn't a fluke.
Okay.
I do remember, and I can tell this story, that in the flood, the second one was coming along, the city manager at that time was afraid he was going to lose the mummies back there because they ended up with them, that he flagged down a buddy of his in a station wagon and threw them in the back of a car and said, hey, take these things home so they don't get caught in the flood. Well, by the time he came home, in 5 minutes, he was back downtown. He said, my wife told me she's going to throw me out of this house if I don't get those two out of here. I do remember that, and that was in the back of the building by the old bank.
Do you know how tall they are? I heard they're kind of small.
They're very small. I never did measure them. I probably should, but we
Okay.
but they are very tiny.
Okay. All right.
Frank Hammer. Some people say he's a genius, other people say he's nuts.
Mad scientist. Well,
Okay.
huh.
Yeah.
It's all interesting. How they used to do phones. Hello, operator. And they'd have the little sticky. Wow, this is how to replace an old phone book, I guess. Wow.
Yeah.
But they don't. They almost don't look real. And they're not very big at all.
Wow.
And I can see why they would want the formula. I mean, they're in real good shape. Come up here and look.
Yeah, they are. And you've been through 2 floods.
Probably nothing they have today would keep you this big,
Wow.
this well preserved. You know. Would you all have anything to say? I wouldn't do that.
What?
Performance that.
No. If you turn it down,
I don't know. You're not going to be able to hear.
it's just not that loud. It's all the way up.
Take the papers. Take these papers.
Oh. All right, can you tell me what your names were? Audrey. Do you know why you were admitted to the hospital? Was the hospital a nice place? How were you treated at the hospital? Who was your doctor? When did you die? How did you die? How do you feel about what Graham Hamrick did to you? Are you happy about where you are now? And how did you feel about traveling Europe with Barnum? Oh, there's a little bit. Yeah.
Here, there's other people want to come in here.
Okay.
There. Yeah. And thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Stop back.
You too.
Thank you. Questions in the meantime, just give me a call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I thank you for stopping.